Hello guys and welcome to my channel, and today we are going to talk about Anatoly Moskvin. In Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, Anatoly Moskvin was regarded as an authority on neighborhood cemeteries, but it turned out that he was actually excavating dead children and making them into living dolls. History enthralled Anatoly Moskvin. He was an accomplished traveler, college professor, and journalist in his town, the fifth largest city in Russia. He also spoke 13 languages. Moskvin also referred to himself as a necropolist and claimed to be an authority on cemeteries. A coworker referred to his work as priceless. Too bad Moskvin pushed his knowledge to dangerous new heights. The bodies of 29 girls, aged 3 to 25, were discovered mummified in the historian's apartment in 2011, leading to his imprisonment. The foremost authority on cemeteries in his native Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, was Anatoly Moskvin. He blames a 1979 incident that happened to the historian when he was 13 for his fixation with the macabre. Moskvin published this account in Necrologies, a weekly journal devoted to obituaries and cemeteries, to which he frequently contributed. Moskvin revealed how a group of men in black suits stopped him on the way home from school in his final piece for the magazine, which was published on October 26, 2011. Young Anatoly was taken with them to the funeral of 11-year-old Natasha Petrova, where he was made to kiss the girl's corpse under duress. "I kissed her once, then again, Anatoly Moskvin wrote. The girl's distraught mother then adorned Anatoly's finger with a wedding band and her deceased daughter's finger with a wedding band. In the piece, Moskvin said that his odd marriage to Natasha Petrova had been beneficial. Strange, for sure. He claimed that it finally resulted in a fascination with the dead and a belief in magic. It doesn't really matter if the narrative is genuine or not at this point, because his troubling ideas would continue untreated for more than 30 years. The corpse-kissing occurrence remained a source of intense interest for Anatoly Moskvin. He started exploring graves as a young student. His fascination with the macabre even influenced his academic pursuits, leading to Moskvin's ultimate completion of an advanced degree in Celtic studies, a culture whose mythology frequently errs on the side of life and death. The historian was a multi-published academic who spoke 13 different languages fluently. Moskvin was moving between cemeteries at the same time. He boasted of his in-depth familiarity with the area's deceased, saying, "I don't think anyone in the city knows them better than I do." Moskvin asserted to have visited 752 cemeteries in Nizhny Novgorod between 2005 and 2007. He studied the biographies of people interred there and wrote thorough notes on each one. The practical historian asserted that he often slept on hay bales and drank rainwater from puddles while walking up to 20 miles every day. Locals started finding their loved ones' graves desecrated and occasionally fully dug up. In 2009, after a terrorist assault in 2011 at Moscow's Domodedovo airport, the inquiry took a rest. Soon after, Nizhny Novgorod police received reports of Muslim graves being vandalized. Investigators were directed to a cemetery where someone had painted over the images of Muslim dead people while causing no other damage. Anatoly Moskvin was finally apprehended here. After catching him at the Muslim cemetery, 8 police officers went to his flat to collect evidence. The globe was shaken by what they discovered there, which startled them all. The 45-year-old man resided in a compact apartment with his parents. He was said to be a bit of a pack rat and lonely. Authorities discovered life-size doll-like figures all throughout the flat when they went inside. The figures have a vintage doll appearance. They dressed beautifully and variedly. Some had makeup applied over their faces that Moskvin had covered in fabric, while others wore knee-high boots. Additionally, he had cloth-wrapped their hands. However, these were actual human girls who had been mummified, not dolls. One of the bodies began to play music as soon as cops moved it, seemingly on cue. Many of the dolls' trunks featured music boxes that Moskvin had inserted. Maps of nearby cemeteries, doll-making instructions, and photos and plaques that had been removed from gravestones were also scattered throughout the apartment. Police even found that the clothing used to bury the mummified bodies was the same clothing that was worn by the dead. As a result of Moskvin touching the dead girls' bodies, music boxes or toys were later discovered inside their bodies. Furthermore, some of the mummies contained clothing and personal items. One mummy had a fragment of her own gravestone inside her, with her name written on it. A hospital tag with the girl's death date and cause of death was attached to another one. Inside a third body, a desiccated human heart was discovered. Anatoly Moskvin acknowledged that he had stuffed rags into the rotting bodies. Then he would put doll faces on them or wrap nylon pantyhose around their faces. In order for the females to watch cartoons with him, he would also put buttons or toy eyes in their eye sockets. He claimed he excavated girls' tombs because he was lonely, He claimed to be unmarried and that having kids was his greatest goal. Because Moskvin didn't have enough money, Russian adoption agencies refused to allow him adopt a child. He preserved the girls in the interim using a straightforward solution of salt and baking soda. As though they were his own children, he celebrated the birthdays of his dolls. The parents of Anatoly Moskvin asserted that they were unaware of the real story behind Moskvin's dolls. 76-year-old Elvira, the professor's mother, recalled, "We saw these dolls, but we had no idea there were dead bodies inside." Shoes in Moskvin's apartment matched footprints discovered close to desecrated graves, and police were certain they had caught the grave robber thanks to this discovery. He kept one corpse for almost 9 years. 12 offenses, all of which involved the vandalism of graves, were brought against Moskvin. Moskvin admitted to 44 counts of mistreating graves and corpses in court. "You abandoned your girls. I brought them home and warmed them up," he told the victims' parents. After being found guilty, Anatoly Moskvin was given a schizophrenia diagnosis and given a psychiatric facility term. However, as of September 2018, he has the choice to keep receiving psychiatric care at home. The families of the victims disagree. Authorities claim Anatoly Moskvin advised them not to rebury the girls too deeply because he would only unearth them after his release. Chartymova stated, "I still find it difficult to comprehend the scope of his horrific job because for 9 years he was living with my mummified daughter in his bedroom. I had her for 10 years, and he had her for 9. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See you next time with a more chilling story.